everyone. Thanks so much for joining today's webinar. We're here today to talk about 6 ways to drive more revenue with your gift card program. I'm Hillary Spitalier, a director of product marketing here at Blackhawk Network, and I'll hand things over to our 2 speakers for today in just a moment. But first, just wanted to go over a few quick logistics. So we'll save some time at the end of today's sessions for questions. So please make sure to put any questions you have into the Q&A module, and we'll get to those at the end of the session. And just a reminder that we will also be recording today's session, and we'll share that recording out with all attendees after the event today. So with that, I'll hand things over to today's presenters, Joe Pino and Andrew Solomon, to introduce themselves. Joe?
Hi, Joe Pino, VP of Strategy here at Clutch. To give you some background for those that don't know Clutch, we are a customer marketing platform. We help brands identify and retain their best customers. We are a fully integrated platform. We offer 5 different solutions that can be used independent of one another or grouped together based on any brand's need. We offer customer data platform, full end-to-end loyalty management, a stored value suite that includes gift cards and merchandise credit. We also include marketing orchestration across multiple channels such as email and text messaging. We also offer real-time offer management for real-time order and item level discounts. Together, and you'll learn more today about this, but Clutch and Blackhawk do provide a comprehensive omni-channel gift card solution that can be distributed across first and third-party channels.
Thanks, Joe. I'm Andrew Solomon. I'm Vice President of Online Commerce and Strategic Partnerships here at Blackhawk. Really excited that we have so many people joining us today, and excited to talk about our fully integrated solution that includes both Clutch and Blackhawk to bring a really robust solution to merchants. So the reason why we're on this call is just how much gift cards have grown. For the last 15 years in a row, it's the #1 gifting item out there. By 2026, we're expecting that to be almost $750 billion business. So really excited. Once again, it's the #1 requested holiday gift for 15 years in a row. That's basically since the iPhone's been out. So what's the opportunity in revenue? What is it, what does this typically mean? It typically is about a 2 to 5% of a company's total annual revenue equates to gift card sales. Obviously, grocery store, C-store, there's so much other in the cart. It only equates to about 0.5% to 1.5%. But we are seeing that's starting to grow as people utilize that to boost points and some other ideas within the shopping cart. Travel and entertainment, obviously, we had a kind of a lull there with COVID and travel and entertainment. But what we're seeing right now, even though it's only 1 to 2%, we're seeing a lot of the travel and entertainment companies wanting to get into the gift card space, trying to get share of that wallet and trying to get spend back into travel and entertainment. Big box, not going to change a whole lot. They're about 1 to 2.5% of their revenue. Especially retailers. This is where we're seeing a pretty big increase, especially with supply chain issues. It's great that you can still get someone a gift card so that when the product they want comes in, they can utilize that gift card to purchase that special product. Excuse me. Casual dining and quick serve, obviously, this continues to be one of the largest areas. 5 to 10% of casual dining, 1 to 20% of quick serve. Obviously, because of the robust platform that Starbucks has, that's really tipping that 20%. So 6 ways to drive more revenue. We're going to go into more detail on this, in the program. But the 6 areas are sell gift cards online, marketing your program, leveraging gift cards and promotions, distribute your gift cards, cash on accounts, and mitigate fraud with best practices. So selling gift cards online. Egifts are now one of the top 3 methods of digital payments. They're faster and easier for self-use, near instant delivery, perfect for last-second buyers and avoiding delivery delays. 80% during the last holiday season, sales of digital gift cards, Egifts, increased over 80%. So people are really getting away from the plastic and realizing that they just want them inside their phone in their wallet. However, there are ways that we can support e-gift to physical plastic also. Digital gifting. This is really the hub of at Blackhawk, what we consider the hub, and the entry point into e-gifting and gift cards. Starting with the digital gift card, and then from there you have all the different spokes that are available. Everything from third party online, social media, incentives, e-commerce, original contents, bundling. Like merchants on similar cards, payment solutions, business to business. Obviously, promotions are huge. Appeasement, and then you kind of wrap that in program management and best in class fraud engine, and then you layer in our relationship with Clutch and be able to have a great solution not only in physical store but also online. Marketing your program. This is really key. It's one thing to check the box and say, hey, I have a gift card. But what's really important is marketing that program out to not only your existing merchants or your existing buyers, but places where you might not typically be to gain new people into your ecosystem. Utilizing websites, email campaigns, social media, mobile app incentives, in-store, even in lane in store. There's some really interesting things we're doing with QR codes and some other ideas. And then partnerships. Sometimes it's suppliers and the merchant doing something together. So some really interesting things to always be marketing your program. Once again, leveraging gift cards and promotions. Give one, get one. 85% average increase, more spend up front, incremental spend at redemption, giving discounts, give a 65% average increase, instant gratification for purchaser. What we see is this allows mid-market to small market merchants compete with national merchants and really getting dollars into your ecosystem. Promotions are key. And then going back to the previous slide, how you market those promotions and how you reach out to people is critical. It's just not on your website, but what other areas can you promote that promotion? I'm gonna pass it over to Joe now, and he can talk about cash on accounts.
Thanks, Andrew. So we talk a lot about gift cards, and I think traditional use of gift cards is I'm buying a gift card for a friend or family member. At the end of holidays or for holiday seasons, you may get 3 or 4 gift cards to the same company, because again, friend and family know you're a fan of Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or other. Some of our brands are starting to introduce the concept of cash on account, where you essentially turn your website into a digital wallet or a central hub where you could actually easily store all of your gift cards. So gone are the need for you to have to store that gift card in your wallet or have to be able to recall that email quickly. So giving your customers the ability to centralize that information onto their website or into your e-commerce channel becomes a really great way to A, make it a very clean experience for your customers as they centralize gift cards. B, give your marketing teams more information in which they can communicate to their customers, right? Make an email that much more powerful by reminding them of their balances on their account. And even with cash on account, start introducing customer service like capabilities so that a customer can get credit right on their account, again, without having to trigger an email, worry about spam, or worry about a customer not getting that. So cash on account is a very powerful concept, and it really starts to take you from gift cards into customer management. And again, the ability to build on that as time goes on. In addition to gift cards, you hear a lot about gift cards. When we think of gift cards at Clutch, we do think of it through the lens of stored value. Under stored value comes multiple ways to use the concept of stored value or gift cards in different ways while still enabling clean reporting. So merchandise credit, I don't think it's a new concept, but really is the idea of allowing your customers to return value, and instead of putting it back onto a gift card, giving them a different card or account under the terms of merchandise credit allows for richer reporting. And as you see here in this use case we've done for a specialty retailer, they actually rewarded customers or incentivized them to make a return, but put it back onto store credit and introduce bonuses. So that again, you keep that money in-house opposed to giving them the value back into their credit card. In this scenario, again, ran for probably just shy of a year. They saw a huge uptick in customers returning, as you see here, 70%. And again, by giving that merchandise credit card, you're able to communicate to that customer and remind them of the value in that account.
Yeah, and Joe, one thing on that idea that you and I talked about was that $5 bonus. If it's on a gift card and you're giving that, that is actually has an end date on it. So you get someone to put the money back in their account, and that $5 does legally have an expiration date. So not always are you can get 100% of that spend.
Absolutely. And to your point, Andrew, that allows us to start to expire it. So for all the accountants in the room or on the call, the liability management is easier because you can now start to expire that $5. It could fall off as a marketing expense rather than a liability that has to be cheated in five plus years. So next comes the fraud management, right? As we start to think about a customer experience with gift cards and that omni-channel, right? The Clutch platform enables omni-channel, cross-channel issuance redemptions, but with that flexibility comes the need to have extra protections around management of gift cards. What we've listed here is just a few options. We have an entire team dedicated to fraud management, but really there's some simple tactics that can be executed against so that you could improve and mitigate fraud across simple card and data generation. So introducing a PIN to a card, introducing random generation of card numbers is also possible, even introducing alphanumeric. So again, make it harder for robots to just be able to redeem value or guess your cards. That also applies to card production. So we talked a lot about digital cards, but obviously there's still a place for physical cards as well. And of course, when you think about balance checkers, introducing CAPTCHAs and PINs are also really key. Again, these are just some simple ideas to get started, and we recommend these as a sort of a baseline for anyone that's selling gift cards right away.
Yeah, and I would just layer on to fraud, specifically when it's regarding digital. Blackhawk's, proprietary fraud system and taking on the risk for the merchant is world class, like none other. We're able to do this typically and deliver digital cards within 3 seconds, even running them through our fraud system. Currently we are the only one that can meet the Apple requirements to send a gift card in a text chat.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Joe and Andrew, for walking us through those best practices. I think there were some really great insights and takeaways shared today that hopefully attendees can take and apply to their own programs, really depending on where they are in the stage of building out their program. So now just a reminder, we want to open up for questions to the audience. I know we've seen a couple questions come in already. So just a reminder to everyone to please enter any questions that you have into the Q&A portal. And so I think the first one we'll start with, Andrew, I think this is a good one for you. Do you have any examples of brands who do a good job of marketing their gift card programs today?
Yeah, I'd like to use, a smaller brand example. That's a great question, and use a smaller brand. There's kind of a regional, national QSR chain called Cafe Rio. Cafe Rio has done not only a phenomenal job marketing themselves in all the different areas like I talked about, but then layering in promotions. And what we've seen from a 200 location smaller chain, on certain days during the holiday season, they were able to compete for wallet share with the biggest of the big, the Nordstroms and the Targets and the Starbucks of the world. So it really shows the power of getting layering in promotions with where you're going to market.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew.
Yep.
And I think, Joe, this one's probably a good one for you. Question is, what other security measures does Clutch offer around fraud?
Sure. Great question. I know we talked a lot about some of the front end UI UX updates we made as well as card production, but our team is really investing, our product team specifically is investing heavily in machine learning. So the idea that we start to detect fraudulent behavior based off unusual behavior is something that we're really focused on. So both from a gift card activity as well as just customers in general, right? So again, the ability to identify the obvious is great, but again, our machine learning could analyze all customers and start to understand behavior. So I would say that's a big push we're making this year that can certainly be layered on top of anyone else's loss prevention strategies that are in place today.
Great, thank you. And I think another one looks like, Andrew, coming to your hub and spoke slide, a question about third-party distributors and what the benefit is for third-party distributors selling other brands' cards.
Yeah, I think third party is really interesting. Obviously, there's a finite amount of space for cards, especially in physical third party. That being said, we talked about original content cards very quickly on the hub and spoke slide, which is bundling interesting plays where they're non-competing, but they go well together, whether it's fitness, layering in something like Lululemon and Peloton or Nordic Track or something like that. But there also are opportunities, online to do some third-party distribution. Once again, it's just another area to market your brand where people might not normally see your brand.
Awesome, thank you. And I think here's a good one probably for both of you to answer around what part of the gift card experience or tech stack is managed by Blackhawk and Clutch. So if each of you wants to give the answer for your respective areas, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah, I saw that question, thought it was a great question. So what I would say in this scenario, Clutch is the back-end processor. So we are the full end-to-end reporting and accounting on all gift cards. So as it's sold in-store or online, we're tracking that activity. We're ensuring that, again, the correct liability is managed, and of course, it's reported across the proper channel. As the back-end platform, we have open APIs so that ultimately any brand could deliver the experience they want back to their website. And actually, I'll leave that to Andrew because I know Andrew could talk more about that front-end experience.
Yeah, what we typically are doing here at Blackhawk on the first party side is we're setting up the actual sites and for both online digital to digital and digital to physical. So a great example is if you go to Nordstrom.com and you click on gift cards, the experience is really hosted and the fraud is handled by Blackhawk. If you look at the bottom, it still says, CashStar at the bottom powering that, and that you're actually on a Blackhawk site. So you're going away from your online to our hosted site, and that's where we handle, all the presentment of the cards, and then we send it back all that information through Clutch so that you have the reporting and information on all the cards that are active and live.
Awesome. Thank you both. We still have a good number of other questions coming in, so we'll try to get to as many of them as we can. I think this one, Joe, specific to Clutch, a question around customer data. If there's data that's available so customer service teams can help with lost cards or deleted emails when it comes to digital gift cards.
Absolutely. Our platform, you could store as much or as little detail as you want on a gift card. Particularly for digital, you're able to store and capture the buyer's information, the seller's information. You could even store in their email addresses. So absolutely, customer who recipient loses their gift card, your customer service team could look it up in our system. It will all be trackable and easily traceable. So part of the platform does enable customer service tools so that you could address some of your basic questions and of course some of your more complicated ones as well.
Awesome, thank you. And this is more of a, I think goes to some of the additional value of having a gift card program. A question about how to make your gift card program more, valuable and desirable as the market is always growing. What ways can you take advantage of having a gift card program beyond obviously the revenue of gift card sales?
Yeah. I think the drum I keep pounding, right, which is promotions, right? It's really incenting people to put money into your store, into your program, and what that does is we see the uplift from that card. Typically, they're spending more than what the card is, sometimes with the dollars you're throwing in. So. And a lot of people, what they're doing is they're utilizing it to give a gift and kind of reward themselves for giving a gift. And then obviously on that extra gift card, they're spending much more than the card. So I think that's a great way to do it. Hillary, I keep seeing a lot of questions about fraud. So I just want to touch on that. Obviously, when you do first party through Blackhawk, Blackhawk's integration into Clutch, we produce the digital card. All the fraud is handled and is owned. All the risk is owned by Blackhawk. So we take away the risk from the merchant, and we take on the risk within the platform. So that's a huge part. Especially for kind of a mid-market or regional national, that they don't have to worry about taking on the liability of the gift card, of the purchase of the gift card, and that's kind of due to both Clutch's expertise in fraud and our proprietary fraud system here at Blackhawk.
Yeah, and to add to that, again, there's always additional controls from our side that could be put in place. Again, you could always start simple and then expand. Some again additional ways that we've even identified bots is IP address volume tracking, as well as of course putting different bot value types in place. So again, keep those values low, opposed to having a gift card with endless caps. So limits are really key because again, with gift cards in general, the idea is not just to allow for customers to buy it, but it also adds a lot of convenience. So as we kind of talk about the return concept, we've even seen other scenarios where it's gifting, and we certainly have additional functionality that could be put in place so that, again, your gift cards become an underlying medium for other types of customer engagement. It doesn't have to just be on the traditional sense. There's a lot of different clients or brands that we work with that are starting to expand the use of gift cards so that it becomes more than just a card number, but again, improving and enhancing the customer experience that today everyone demands in terms of the streamlined flow for both in-store and online.
Awesome, thank you both. Yeah, I think great answers to a lot of the different questions that we've seen coming through here. I think we have time probably for one or two more questions. I know kind of related to what you were both just talking about with overspend and the value of the card. I know there was a question that came up around what happens to money that is not spent that might be remaining on a gift card, and what does that mean for the retailer or merchant?
Sure, I could speak to that. So first and foremost, and that was, I know when I first started in this business, a lot of retailers and brands were excited about that value remaining so that they can keep it, right? It becomes this income that you never have to give up. That has changed, right? As a good business practice, your goal really should be to get your customer to come in as often as possible and spend their full gift card and then some, right? No good business ever said, I hope they buy this and never come back, right? So really the idea of coming back is really key. There are rules around achievement that I referenced before, where value can become kind of go back to the state as a result of unclaimed funds. I'm sure I'll leave that to Andrew to talk to about more details. But what I would say is from our standpoint and from Clutch, the tools we have in place help you get that customer back into your store faster, opposed to hoping that they don't return and hoping that the liability goes unused.
Great. Thanks so much, Joe. And I think one final question, Andrew, I'll start with you on this one. Since you were talking a lot about selling gift cards online and in those first 3 areas, what are some of the first important steps for a brand who doesn't have an online gift card program today to set up a program and promotions if they want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because of Clutch's integration, part of the question would be, are they set up on, Clutch's platform for physical gift cards? That would be the first step, would be to make sure that they have the Clutch physical gift card. From there, because of Clutch's integration, getting to a digital gift card and being able to build a platform and do that, we're only talking a matter of a few weeks, because Clutch has really done the heavy lifting and the integration into Blackhawk, so that you're able to not only accept them at point of sale, physical retail, but also able to go online, through the Clutch platform and utilize the gift card there. And we have, the engineers and the manpower to spool up one of these sites. There's a little bit of lifting on the merchant side. So, to be safe, we typically say 4 to 6 weeks. If you start doing a lot of custom stuff to your site, it could drag it out a little bit longer, but we've also set something up, in as few as 2 or 3 weeks.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I think since we just have about 2 minutes left, I think this is a good point to pause and start to wrap things up. So thank you again so much to our speakers and to all of our attendees who participated today and for submitting such great questions. If there are any additional questions or any that we missed catching in the chat or in the Q&A box, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us after the session, and we can get back to you with answers to those. As mentioned at the beginning, we'll share a recording of the session today to all attendees and to everyone who registered if there was anyone who wasn't able to join the session, as well as gift cards for attendees through email over the next few days. And if you're planning to attend eTail Palm Springs in a few weeks, just wanted to let everyone know that Andrew and the Blackhawk team will be there. So please stop by and chat at our booth 103, and we'll be attending live at the end of this month as our next live event. So thank you all again, and thank you, Joe and Andrew, for joining today, and we hope everyone has a great rest of your day.